started, right? Like I came here to get started, to co-act ill or get retarded. All right. There we go. Now we started the way we supposed to be started. You know what I mean? And in stereo. The real stereo. All right, y'all. Tuesday night, pretty petty Tuesday. Tuesday night, pretty petty. Tuesday night, pretty petty Tuesday. Now I know a lot of y'all are feeling good because y'all feel like it's the middle of the week. But around here, we still on Tuesday because we still have unfinished Tuesday business. See, the thing is, we don't have a Sunday night show. Sunday going into Monday. So we do our thing Monday going into Tuesday. So in many ways, you can say that our week starts Tuesday morning. But yeah. I feel like making up a song. If I make up a song, y'all gonna sing along? Yo, my song. My song. I had made up one because I had dreamt the song last night. Now I'm just thinking of it. It went something like, okay. Now I gotta think, can I really sing the lyrics? Y'all good? TK, right? Morning, noon, and night. Pretty pet. Now the song I had thought of, it was pretty positive. See if I can fit the words in here. It was really just a chorus. Yeah, one time for you. I'm here for it. Come on. I love you. I said I love you. I need you to love me too. What you say? I said I love you. I said I love you, and I need you to love me too. I love you. I said I love you, and I need you to love me too. That's actually not the words that I thought of, but I'm still trying to figure out how to fit these words in because I'm not remembering the lyrics the way it's supposed to be. I remember the second part, but not the first part. So I figured we need each other more than sisters and brothers, but in the same way, we gotta make it through the same day. I was never out to hurt you, and I feel like you want me to be okay too. So what we gonna do at those times when we feel so confused? I'ma always be by your side. From day one, you was always down to ride. Now when we say ride or die, day by day. Say when you say ride or die, I said day by day. You'll always be true. I believe in me, some you. Yo. Keep it rocking, baby. Yeah. Everything gonna be all right. Okay. I'm really trying to remember the lyrics. It went something like, bullshit. That bullshit. That bullshit. That bullshit. But yeah, that bullshit. How was it? Bullshit. Something like I can hear that bulls. I know the last part was like on some bullshit or something like that. But what was the first line? It don't matter. It don't matter. What's going on, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun 752. And this your daily. It's the daily go get mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We are talking about playing with house money tonight. What do you know about playing with house money? I mean, maybe you have never played with house money. You know, when you go to a casino, the house always wins. And the house are the dealers, the pit bosses, anybody who works at the tables in a casino. They have unlimited amounts of cash, so they can play all night. When they bet against you, they don't have to watch how much they bet. They can always match whatever you bet. You don't have enough money to break their bank, but they can definitely break yours because they have enough money. Now, if you've ever had a situation where you've had more money than you can spend in a small amount of time, then you will understand what it's like playing with house money. When it's not your bank account that's being taken away from, when it's not yours that's being depleted, when it's not yours that's being reduced, when it's not yours that's being withdrawn from. So if you've ever married somebody rich, or you've been involved with somebody rich, or you were stealing money all crazy, people who steal from their jobs know exactly what I'm talking about because they playing with house money. They figure the job is bringing in so much that they not even going to miss what I'm taking. And so that breeds greed. Greed, greed, and more greed. And you know, you can never feed a greedy person enough. You know, they just get fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter until they explode. But yeah, playing with house money. So when you're playing with house money, it'll show a lot about your character. When you are in the position to have the opportunity to play with house money, we'll see what kind of person you really are. Because some people, if they're playing with house money, they're going to spin, 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 spin. All of a sudden, a Big Mac or a quarter pounder ain't good enough for them. It's all about filet mignon or, you know, a tomahawk steak. If you've ever had a tomahawk steak, you know it ain't nothing more expensive than a tomahawk. And that's, woo, that thing tastes so good. I say that Tommy, and you don't get a tomahawk steak for cheap. You know what? I've never even seen a tomahawk steak being sold in stores that I go to. Most restaurants that I go to have not sold a tomahawk steak. And you would think so with all the steakhouses that I've gone to. But a tomahawk steak is an expensive item. But when you're playing with house money, you'll go ahead and order that shit. Louis the 13th, Louis the 14th, champagne is hella expensive, more than Cristal. But when you're playing with house money, you'll go ahead and order that shit. Because you're playing with house money. Now, if you're the other type of person and you're playing with house money, if you're a conservative person and you're playing with house money, it'll show. Because no matter how much money you have at your disposal, you'll still save it. You'll still conserve. You'll still make sure that there's some left for you or for whoever needs it. Oh, boy. All right, box clip. Chad Ross says, can you please do it? Can you do a song about me? I don't know. Hopefully any song that I do, you'll just happen to be included in it in some kind of way if it relates to your life. But I couldn't see myself doing a song about a man. So I don't know about that. I doubt if that'll happen. So anyway, playing with house money. Thieves know all about playing with house money. Con men know about playing with house money. Sugar babies know about playing with house money. When somebody else is footing the bill, your character will really start to show. The kind of person you are will really start to show. Have you ever found out that you could have gotten a lot more than you got and wish that you had spent more than you spent? Well, maybe one of the reasons that you didn't spend more than you spent was because that's just not the kind of person you are. The greed always shines through with a greedy person. And you know, a poor person or a person that doesn't have any money or make any money does not always, let me just put it this way, you can be poor and greedy at the same time. Sometimes that's the reason why some people are poor, because they're greedy. They don't save. They consume. They eat, or take. They don't replace anything. Y'all may know some people like this. Do you know people who are wasteful? A lot of times, people who are wasteful are greedy too, but not all the time. I'm not going to put all wasteful people on blast. Like, have you ever fed a person who's wasteful? Like you look at the way they eat, and you're paying for the meal, and you watch how they just picked over the meal, and you're like, they order drinks and they don't drink them, but they order more. So you could have 2, 3 or more drinks, half drink. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? They don't have any respect for the fact that you're paying. They don't have no respect for the fact that you are paying for it. And you might feel some kind of way about it. Sometimes it might be your own children. You know, back in the day, the parents would tell their kids, oh, look, you're going to clean that plate or you're going to eat everything that you serve. I never really thought that was a good way to be. And my parents didn't raise me that way, but they didn't have to. They didn't have to. I wasn't greedy. Yeah, my other sisters and brothers, I don't know. I don't know. What up, Blakely? Xander was good. Michael Mag, what up? What up? What up? Burger Sleuth. Jesus is the truth. Hell is real. We all sin. We die. He died on the cross to pay for our sins, was buried and rose again the third day. Put your faith in him alone to save you. Trust in what he did for you. Carla! What up, Carla? Thanks for coming on through. I appreciate you. Let me see. I ain't on that. Oh, shit. Yeah. What? Yo. You gotta resist that bullshit. You gotta learn to resist that bullshit. Wherever you go, where you stand or sit, resist that bullshit. They will try to get you on. Words bomb. My name is Sun75. Do things like this, and I'ma always blow up. And I got a list of people that I know that gotta bring with me, cause they down like a submarine, nifty 50. Yeah, we get a burger right there and a milkshake. Yeah, what? But we still can serve. You wanna spend all of your dough? Whoa, look at the nerve. Some people had, I can't stop you. We went on the ad. This was back in the day when they had a lot of stores. We was getting like real. You was going for more and more and more. And I feel like you're just getting sore for the fact that you don't have as much as you used to. It's all right too. Us, I think, is gonna be okay. But we still live to see another day. And I'm glad you're here. Yeah, Jesus in the flesh. Maybe he'll appear. I don't know if it's gonna happen today, tomorrow. But right now we beg, steal, and borrow. But sometimes there's a lot of sorrow, because some people didn't see tomorrow, or even the rest of the day. When you don't make it from the beginning, I say, hey, rest in peace to all. Yo. All right, let's get it popping, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. We good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Daily Go Getimism show all up in your area. Please make sure y'all hit that like button. Please make sure that y'all hit that like button. This is a little weird. Because we only have 5 likes, but we have 10 people who responded to the poll question. Explain that. I don't know. Something just don't seem right. Travis says, I grew up on a farm. You worked for food. Oh, you work for food. You work for the food that you got on your plate, and you didn't get up till your plate was clean. Yeah, a lot of people who didn't grow up on a farm practice that same type of mentality. And it's not a really bad way to be. The thing is, it's really only a problem when the person who cooked the food wasn't that good of a cook, or they cooked food that you couldn't make taste good. Some things you just don't like the taste of. What can I say? Some things you just don't like the taste of. And sometimes with some parents, that's the kind of stuff that they tried to feed us. It wasn't that kids don't like vegetables. They want vegetables prepared in a way that tastes good. What's the problem? It really shouldn't be. There really shouldn't be a problem. You cook the shit good and the kids will eat it. All kids want to do is play and eat all the time anyway. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. But anyway, so today we're talking about playing with house money. All of my people who have ever gotten paid off of a law settlement, lump sum of money, getting $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 or more in one lump sum can seem like you're playing with house money, especially if you've never seen that amount of money before in cash all at one time. It can seem like you have an unlimited amount of money until you start spending it. You'll find out exactly what limits are. And if you don't respect those limits, that couple of $100,000 will be gone in a flash. And then you'll be running around here talking about all these people I took care of when I had the money. And now, none of them will pay me back for the loans I gave them. And nobody will help me out. It'll seem like everybody is doing okay. And you out here looking dumb. Yeah, $100,000 in cash seems like a lot of money until you start spending it. When you really think about it, in today's economy, for the last 20 years or so, with the costs, when you think about major purchases like a house or a car, $100,000 will get swallowed up with the quickness. One purchase, buy a house nowadays, no more $100,000. You need like $400,000 or $500,000. But let's say you already have a house, so you already have a place to live. Maybe you just want to make a few repairs and things like that. Even the repairs are going to run you a good amount. So if you play around with the money like it's really house money, but it's not house money, it's just money that you have in the house. It might be better to find a better place to stash your money, because if somebody finds that you have the money in the house, they might invite themselves over when you're not there. One thing my old heads taught me back in the day was locks and alarms are for honest people. Locks and alarms are for honest people. Thieves do not give a shit about your locks or your alarms or the fact that you have house money. Thieves are always playing with house money. Yours, not theirs. And that's the thing. When you are spending somebody else's money, a lot of times you may spend it recklessly. And then when you spend all their money and they don't have any more, now this will tell you the kind of character that you have and the kind of person that you are. So you spend all of their money and they don't have no more money. And you like, yo, you let me spend all your money, or you gave me all your money. You a dummy. They were dummies. They were dummies messing around with you. But these are the kind of things that you might run into when you're talking about playing with house money. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Are you ready? Are you ready? Well, I am. I'm going to go over there and get my chair, and we're going to have a conversation about this right here. Watch, I'm going over here and getting my chair. 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 Yeah. This motherfucker got to go. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Okay. All right. So here we are. We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting. What's up, Mac and Marvina Bigby? What up? What up? What up? What up? Good to see you. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. And my girl Tori 2200. Tori. Carla said no more stuffing money in the seams of the mattress. Then they sew it back up. Man, listen. Woo! My old head was right. I'm trying to fix this light over here. Oh, man. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Okay. We good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. All right. Yeah, I don't want to get all. I won't get all OCD, but some things just have to be right. That light wasn't sitting right on me. It wasn't sitting right with me. It just wasn't. Please hit the like button, y'all. I'm not going to ask y'all for no money. I'm not going to sell y'all nothing tonight. Y'all know what it is. I just need you to hit the like button. You hit the like button, everything will be all right. We're going to be such good friends. Like you and I. You and I, me and you. We're going to ride till the wheels fall off. Ride, baby, ride. Pause. No, ride. But yeah. Yeah, my old heads were right. Thieves don't give a shit about locks, doors, windows, alarm systems. They don't care about none of that shit. They're coming in there to take what they saw and what they know is there, and they're gonna leave nothing behind. They figured if you had enough to get what you had one time, then you have enough to get it again. And they're not concerned about the state that you're left in. They don't give a shit. You want to find somebody who don't care about nobody, get yourself a thief. Because they don't care. Mr. Ray says, it got to come out, right? Or else you ain't get to pimp tonight. I don't know. I mean, it rhymes, right? I'm going to just take it rhymes. You know, I might not be able to decipher what you mean, but it rhymes. It rhymes. I'm with it. All right. Playing with house money. You know, if you ever get a chance to play with house money, you should really consider it to be a blessing. And for anybody who's coming in late and doesn't understand what house money is like money in unlimited supply. Like when you go to a casino, when you go to a gambling casino, the dealers are playing with house money. They can bet, they can always match your bet because they don't have to pay for anything. It's not coming out of any of their account. The main goal is to take your money away. And they're extremely successful at it because they can gamble all night. You don't have enough money to be able to gamble all night. They have money in unlimited supply. You have money in limited supply. Even if you start winning, you're not winning enough to claim house money. So what you need to do is go ahead, gamble, win some money and get on up out of there. But the thing is, gamblers don't do that. Gamblers get that gambler's rush. And it turns them into fools, and they win some money and then they wind up giving the money right back. Because the longer you stay, the likelihood that you are going to lose your money it gets higher and higher and higher. What up, Ben Zarate? Is that like Ben Zarate like karate? Is Zarate like karate? Well, I appreciate that. He says, hey, man, just want to wish you the best of luck. Believe in yourself and work hard. And work hard. All love. Well, I appreciate that. And you do the same. Since you wish that for me, I'm going to wish that back for you. But I'm definitely going to take that with me. It's very positive of you. And I appreciate it. Mucho. Not kidding around either. But yeah, playing with house money. You know, most people who think that they're playing with house money aren't. They're playing around with a good amount of cash. Anybody who works for a living knows that they're not playing with house money. But anybody who steals from their job thinks that they're playing with house money. If you've ever owned your business, if you've ever owned your own business and hired somebody who stole from you, you understand what I mean by people stealing from their job and feeling like it's house money. Because they will take all of your money and won't feel any remorse over you getting your money stolen. Because they look at it like, look, they have all of this money coming in. They're not going to miss it going out. And it's funny how people can rationalize that as being some kind of truth. What up, FHS? How you feeling? How is it that you see, let's say your business is bringing in, you have a small business. The hell? Caller with the last number is 2024. Welcome to the Daily Go-Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? Oh, that was just somebody who wanted to see if it worked. That happens. They said, look, a phone number. I'll bet you that number doesn't work. And it's like, wow, it does work. It does. It does. How could it happen? How could it be? Who? Did I scare you the first time?
No, I just thought it was a voicemail at first.
All right, what's the deal?
Nothing. I'm just working off of live streams and just trying to subscribe to people. So.
How old are you? Like 10?
No, older.
12?
Yep.
Okay, you can't be on this show. Holla. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. All right. Get him on up out of here. Get you on up out of here, youngin'. Get you go bye-bye. You'll go bye-bye. Mr. Bats. What's good? Are you a Wellbo? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. Yes, yes, and yes. Señorita Ramirez, Señorita Ramirez, Señorita Ramirez. What's going on, Señorita Ramirez? But yeah, what I was starting to say was, like, let's say you have your own business, and let's say your business was pulling in, let's say $5,000 a day. Small business, $5,000 a day. Now, you don't get to keep that $5,000. You got payroll and things like that. But they see $5,000 a day coming in through the cash register. So they figure if you're making $5,000 a day, they've somehow figured that they are entitled to at least $1,000 of that a day. Because you're not going to miss it, right? $5,000 a day. They stealing 20%. 1,000. They may have started off only taking a couple of hundred. Nobody caught them. Then they moved up to 500. Nobody caught them. 700. Nobody caught them. Now they're up to 1,000. So that's house money for them. $1,000 a day. So at $1,000 a day, they are getting, if you on a 7-day operation, and I'm sure if they were making $1,000 a day or stealing $1,000 a day, I would come to work every single day. $365,000 a year, undetected, free money, tax free, on top of my salary. Huh? Pretty good, huh? And this happens. This happens when you see like a franchise restaurant go down. Like how does a McDonald's fail? Because that McDonald's might have been taking in $5,000 a day. Somebody was taking 1,000. Like, let's say the manager was taking 1,000, and some of the other employees were taking their cut too. 200, 100 for him, 50 a day for him, 300. Crippled the business. Now they don't have enough money to pay everybody, nor do they have enough money to buy the food. That's how franchises work. But yeah, because you're playing with house money, and people will bring down the house by spending the house money. So yeah, you got to watch out for thieves, because thieves will always treat any money that they get like house money. You make it, they take it. You make it, they take it. Because they don't really give a shit about how much. They don't really give a shit about how much you had to do in order to get that money to come through. All they know is they're working and they see you making all of this money and you should share. Like, you making all of this money and you only paying me this little bit. That's how thieves think about it. That's their justification. Well, I had to do what I had to do. Well, yeah, that's why you took the job, right? You had bills to pay. You had mouths to feed, including yours, right? But somehow that wasn't enough. You know, you was only, trying to make some money to feed your daughter. You was only trying to make some money to feed your daughter. Rest in peace to the notorious B.I.G. Rest in peace to the notorious B.I.G. But yeah, a lot of people who get paid off of a case. Case money be seeming like house money. I'm gonna get this case. I fell down the SEPTA steps. The steps was wet. I fell. I hurt myself. SEPTA gotta pay. Pay. SEPTA gotta pay. Pay. I know how it be. Sorta, in a way. If you're a greedy person, you're never going to have enough to eat. Greedy people eat. Voracious appetite type of behavior. And since we're talking about it, let me ask y'all. If you have ever, let's start with self. If you consider yourself to be a greedy person, because some people consider themselves to be greedy, what would you label your level of greed? 1 being hardly greedy at all or not greedy, or 10 being like, woof, can't have any food, money, or anything good around this person because they're going to use it all. What would you say your level of greed is? I'll start with myself. I would say my level of greed is around a 5. I don't consider myself to be a greedy person. I always save. I always conserve. I'm always worried that it won't be there later on. So I try to make sure that I save so I'll have some for later. And unfortunately, that has come to bite me in the ass sometimes. Only because somebody came behind me at certain times and took what I saved. They took away what I conserved. You know, you get to thinking like, damn, so you telling me I should have just spent it all or used it all? So let me see. All right, Jared, you do your thing. Señorita Ramirez says, me either. Me either, not greedy. You're not greedy, but what would you say your level is? Like I said, mine would be a 5. I would rate myself a 5 on the level of greed. I don't consider myself to be a greedy person. I'm going to eat. So you said a 2? Not bad. Not bad. The reason I consider myself to be a 5 is because I will go for mine. If it's available, I will go for mine. So like, in terms of like, if I on a job, I try to make as much money as I possibly can. I don't consider that to be greed because I got to work for it. But I definitely only work for money. I'm not in it for a lot of the other personal things that people go to work for. I'm in it for the money. You don't pay me, I ain't showing up. Callie G, what up? What up? What's that? Milo and Nala. You said of 10, a 3. So you're a 3 on your level of greed. Okay, not bad. Marvina, you say a 2. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Now, because y'all chose a low level of greed personally, are you offended by people that are really greedy? Like when you come across somebody and you see that they're gluttonous, they are gluttonous, wasteful, and they spend everything. Does it offend you? You know, if you've ever dealt with somebody in your life that's like that, does it get on your nerves? You know, like you might have a friend, a child, a family member, your own children, and you see like, damn, so you just use up everything? You don't have anything left? Whenever my dad used to give me money, he used to tell me, don't spend it all in one place. When I was a kid, he always told me that. Don't spend it all in one place. And I never really understood what he meant by that. And he meant like, you know, don't give this business all of your money. Make sure that you come home with a little bit of money. And I'm like, you didn't pass off enough. We going to the carnival. We going to the amusement park. We going to Six Flags. We going to Great Adventure. Any money that you give us gotta go. We trying to win. We trying to win the big stuffed animals. You know, we eating and, you know, we remember that. I don't know how old any of y'all are, but I grew up when there was the arcade. You went to the arcade, man. You know what I mean? That took a lot of money. The arcade sucked up them quarters with the quickness. Sucked them quarters up. Pause. Whatever, man. Marina says, it doesn't offend you. Señorita Ramirez, cool. Marina says, sometimes it does. I can understand. Mama says, as long as they don't ask me Mm. Well, that's normally the case, though. You know, what other way to know that somebody is greedy is if they ain't in your pockets? Mother said, oh, so spend it in two places. I spent it in one place. I didn't understand what he was talking about. Said, yeah, always pay yourself first. Take a percentage and save it. Yeah, smart people do that. But there's some people who you may know, and who I definitely know, who make more money by mistake than a whole lot of other people make on purpose. If you've ever known somebody who's just a stone cold hustler, like they be out there, they get it. They get to the bag. They stay getting to the bag. But they might spend a lot of the bag. There are certain professionals, or certain professions, I should say, where it seems like the people in those professions find it hard to save money. Drug dealing, street pharmacists, because they get paid all day and every day. They spend money. It's almost like having a regular job for some of these dope boys. Not every dope boy makes a whole lot of money. Some of them literally just have a job. They work for a dude who supplies the drugs, and they sell them. Sometimes they get the drugs on consignment, and they have to pay back. But in order to pay back what you've been given, you have to save some. So you have to be a businessman of some sort, but you might have to learn how to do that. And the threat of violence may compel you to do a little better with the money. Please hit the like button, y'all. Please. That's all I ask. That's all I ask of you. Please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. The channel needs to grow. I need help. I'm asking you. That's all I'm asking you for, though. No money. I'm not going to ask you for no money. I won't refuse any. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not asking you for that. I'm just asking you to please hit the like button. But yeah. So, barbers, hairdressers, or should I say hairstylists? Many of them get paid daily. So they spend money daily. Now, I don't know I haven't gone to a barber since like 2005. I haven't been inside of a barber shop. But when I was barber worthy, I knew barbers that couldn't save any money. They always had money, but they found it hard to save money. People come into barbershops. People come into the hair salons selling shit, jewelry, clothes, shoes, electronics. People be buying that shit. You know what I'm saying? People be buying it. Okay. I gotta make sure that everything is staying straight here. Yeah. People come in the hair salons selling things. And a lot of hairstylists and barbers, they buy that shit. So, it goes the way it goes. Let me see. Lamb King Julian. I had a big stuffed animal as a girlfriend once. Me too. Milo says, yeah, we hacked the arcade games. Hacked? Back when the arcade games were out, there wasn't even a word, hack. Interesting. Daisy Ramirez, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. Floofy Francis says, never mind. Marvina says, grew up poor, no safety net, had to hold on to what I could. I understand. I'm sure, but the love of money is still the root of all evil. Full blue Mark. What up? What up? Senorita Ramirez says, I always save for emergencies. I've always helped my family. You know I got money back on taxes and I paid my son's credit card. I surprised them. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing to do. Christopher says, you have no idea what you're talking about. All right, I'm going to keep talking till I get an idea. Senorita Ramirez says, and open up a savings account for my grandson, granddaughter too. I was blessed. That's what's up. The thing about savings accounts nowadays, they ain't worth shit. They don't pay anything. Back in the day, you had a nice savings account and it used to, you get some money on the interest and all that kind of shit. Now, the interest rates are so low, you ain't getting shit. You almost do better. You almost break even putting the shit under your mattress. At least you would have access to it. Just call me Chen. Just call me Kim. You sound familiar? Okay, cool. Milo says generational. I know a barber who packed his lunch daily and sent 3 kids to college cash. I've never known a barber like that. That's cool. Uncle Phil. That's funny. Yes. You take a paper clip and go with a, oh, that's not a hack. We knew that technique. Okay, you take a paper clip and go where the change comes out and add credits. We also put a hole in the quarter with the string, goes in and pull it out. That really didn't work. We used to hear stories about the whole hole in the quarter thing. That didn't work. That honestly did, because when it goes down, there's a trap, like a flap that it goes. You can't do that. But I understand. Trust me, we tried. I'm not paying my son's credit card bills, okay? What up, Best CB, RB Nation? What up? You said, yeah, but it's a Start Credit Union. Okay, I'm not against stacking no cash or saving no money. I'm not opposed to that at all. Ashley, what up, Ashley Dishman? That says, yo, what's up, Unc? Can you talk about football? Well, I don't want to start talking about. First of all, what's your team? You know what I mean? We ain't gonna talk about football no long time, but let me know your team, and then we could determine if talking about football is even worthy. The Ravens? The Ravens, huh? So what is Mr. Jackson going to do? What is Mr. Jackson going to do? You know what? I be feeling bad for the boy because he's dope. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson, the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. He's dope. He really is. But you gotta beat Mahomes. You gotta beat him. And I'm like, why y'all? So the Eagles the only ones that's going to beat Mahomes? The Eagles are the only one who treat Mahomes like he regular? Because he is regular. All right, he's great. But he against us, he's regular. We make him look regular every time. Like, you ain't like that, dog. You're not. You ain't like that. He be getting away with his little whining and crying and his little trick plays and all of that shit. That should be irking the shit out of me when he completes a pass when he was already in the grasp and all that shit. Lamar gotta play better. He gotta make it to a Super Bowl. He gotta at some point. Them league MVPs ain't it. That ain't it. But on the AFC side, I would root for him as long as he don't play the Eagles. As long as he don't play the Eagles. You from B-More? If so, you know what? Tell you what, shout out to the whole Maryland. Shout out to the whole DMV. How about that? Virginia, DC, Maryland. Shout out to the whole DMV. Shout out to the whole DMV. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. Come on now. You know Ed Reed and Ray Lewis been gone since forever. But yeah, they should be able to get it done with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. They should. Oh, shit. Little Wayne CM says, yeah, I stole my mama car when I didn't know she ain't pay insurance and she thought they took it. I was in it. You talking about all time? Okay. All right. Well, yeah, Ed Reed and okay. Ed Reed and yeah. I can't front. Marvina talking about Chiefs County. Oh, God. Well, look, we know that Jalen Hurts and the Eagles put the Chiefs to bed. We gave the NFL, we showed the NFL how to beat the Chiefs. I mean, you can't deny it. The Eagles showed everybody this is how you do it. You ain't got to blitz them. You got to have a hellified front four, and you just wear them bum asses down all 60 minutes. Lamar Jackson reminds me of Dak. Oh, hell no, he don't. You know why? Because he made it past the second round of the playoffs. Dak ain't never seen no NFC. No AFC. Yeah, well, he ain't never seen no NFC championship. All right, hold on. What we got? Caller with the last number is, what's that? 8423. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? What's good? Say it again. All right. What else? Oh, damn. You sound retarded. What, you got, cerebral palsy, nigga? Well, you better get it all out because I'm blocking your number right after this. So go ahead, get your shit off. Oh, damn. You got kids calling up in this. Hold on. Let me block this dickhead. Oh, damn, he calling from Wisconsin. Oh, shit. Calling from Wisconsin. This is why parents hate when kids are off from school. This is why parents be hating summer vacations. This is why. Jamal Lewis there. True. What's up, Mads? What's good? Marina says, son, I live here. Can't change it. My husband hated the Chiefs. He should have hated them. I hate them too. Shit. That bum ass coach, Big Red, was here for 14 years. He ain't win us no Super Bowl. And it's funny. 14 years he was here. And he went to Kansas City and ran his team exactly like he ran the Eagles. They was always going far in the playoffs, and then they would get their ass kicked in the NFC Championship. Now they getting their ass kicked in the AFC Championship, and then he made it to the Super Bowl and lost. And then we won the Super Bowl before he won the Super Bowl. How is that? How is it that the Eagles won a Super Bowl before Big Red won a Super Bowl in Kansas City and he never had a losing season? How? But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna get it worked out. We're gonna get it worked out. They need to go to bed past their bedtime. Ernest Garcia says, I don't pay taxes. You're not smart, man. I don't pay taxes. You're not smart, man. I know I'm smart enough to write a complete sentence. And I would never write on the internet that I didn't pay taxes. I'm smarter than that. But okay. Football is for nerds. Never heard that before. But back to what we was talking about. Playing with house money. But we can talk about house money and we can talk about sports at the same time. Because a lot of, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting the way that fans get caught up in things like the salary cap and all of that kind of stuff. And they concern themselves with how much athletes are making and shit like that. And it's like, whenever I hear somebody say, such and such is a bum, they're not earning their money, they're not worth this much money or that much money. And I think to myself, like, If those players had a regular 9-to-5 job and they worked at your job and they saw you getting paid more than what they thought you should get paid, you think you would say to your coworkers like, yo, I don't know why they want to pay me more money than I'm going to work for, but I just don't understand it. Or would you just go ahead and take the money and feel like they wouldn't have paid you the money if you weren't worth the money? I don't get caught up in the salary cap thing and all that. It's not my money. But we are talking about house money when we're talking about the NFL because they have lots and lots of money. They have billions and billions of dollars. There's no such thing as a broke NFL franchise. None of them are struggling, no matter how much they win or lose. So you take like a team like the Cleveland Browns, or you take the Las Vegas Raiders. You take the New York Giants. You take any of those teams who didn't do well last year or who haven't done well in years, and they still make a whole shit pile of money. They still sell out those stadiums. They still have those TV contracts. They still make a lot of money. Historically, the legacy, and now they are literally playing with house money. But now the fans are starting to get involved in the financial politics of the players. And I'm like, shit. If the team or the scouts didn't think that he was worth the money that he was getting paid, they wouldn't have paid him. But yeah, it seems like they're playing with house money. And a lot of these agents who are representing these athletes, they're asking for as much money as they can get because they're playing with house money. House money. And an agent gets a percentage of the money that they negotiate for the player. They get a nice chunk for that. Now, let's say you represent 10 players And each one of those players are on $100 million contracts. Well, let's see how much an agent gets paid per client. How much do sports agents get paid to represent football players? NFL sports agents earn a commission capped at a maximum of 3% of a player's team contract value. That ain't bad, man. Now, in any other area, you would think like 3% ain't that much money, but we're talking about 3% of like $1 million, 3% of $10 million. You're talking about those agents, they getting all the money. And they ain't got to work out. They ain't got to get on the field. They got to get on the phone. Go meet with the teams and things like that. Very lucrative. Very, very lucrative. Playing with house money. I don't know how agents live, but I imagine they live pretty comfortably. Now, I don't know if they get any sleep because they may represent not only football players, but basketball players, hockey players, baseball players. They may have a lot of, they may be dealing with sports that go around the clock, or every season of the year. And I'm sure that the companies that they play for or that they represent for probably require them to stay on the grind. Stay on the grind, stay on the grind, stay on the grind. The Dingaling guy says, son, it's me, Josh, from the homeless shelter. Glad to see you back on your feet after everything you've been through recently. Stay sober and keep it up. All right, I will. I am proud to say one thing. Out of all the things that I may be able to be in this world, I doubt that I will ever be homeless. I've never played with house money, but I doubt that I will ever be homeless. I have family. I have friends. I have resources. I'm proud to say I've never paid rent a day in my life. I've never paid rent. I've never paid a mortgage, ever. And I've always owned my own place since I was 18 years old. Never paid rent, never paid a mortgage. I've been blessed in that regard. But homelessness is not an option for me. I've done well by people. I've done well enough by people that my people would never allow me to be homeless in any way. I may be carless at times, but not homeless. That is not an option. Not an option. No. So, unfortunately, Josh, the only way you could have known me from a homeless shelter is if I dropped you off there. I gave him a ride. I don't know. I don't even know what city he's from. I've only known one person in my life named Josh. He was black. Typically, Joshes are white. Now, I may know a black Joshua, But no. Well, the one Josh that I knew, his name is Joshua. But yeah, I know a lot of Joshes. He said, Josh, get a job. Sounds like Josh needs a home. Get a home, Josh. Okay. Playing with house money. Playing with house money. Oh, it felt like I cut myself. Random thought. I found out that my cat likes potato chips. Guess how? Yes. I found out that my cat likes potato chips. I was like, It made me wonder. I wonder if if the treats that I give her taste like potato chips. Because she was looking for like, yo, that was pretty good. Can I have another? Can I have, well, anyway, yeah. Playing with house money. You will find out the character of a person when you witness them playing with what they perceive to be house money. You're definitely going to see a person's, I don't want to say their true colors, but I'm going to say that you're going to see some extra colors. You definitely won't just see things in black and white. Everybody has their thing that they may invest in. We're going to use the word invest. What I really want to say is that they spend their money on. Everybody has their thing that they spend money on. Some people spend their money on jewelry. Some people spend their money on clothes. Some people spend their money on their car, fixing up their cars, adding things to it, rims, tint, fog lights, things, attachments to the engine and the exhaust system, spoiler kits, things like that. Some people spend their money on drugs, unfortunately, but it's just a fact of life. Drugs, alcohol, partying, sex, collectibles. And when you see how a person spends that large percentage of their money, it may have you thinking like, wow, this person spends money like they're playing with house money. And, we try to stay out of people's pockets, but sometimes it's just so noticeable that like I wasn't trying to notice, but shit. Carlos asks, did Kitty eat your sour cream and onion chips? I know I eat the plain hers in the red bag with the ridges. Them shits is good to move. I'm trying to see. Them shit's good to move. One trip up their bang. That's an interesting name. Some of the homeless people one could encounter are the nicest to meet. If they not on any substances, many people that has careers and on the up and up, they truly have shitty attitudes. Well, most homeless people that I know have mental problems. Homelessness is not fortified with people who are upwardly mobile and of sound mind and body. Most of the homelessness out here has a lot to do with mental illness. That's why they don't even really mind being out there when your head is all fucked up. And unfortunately, I hate to get all political about it, but Ronald Reagan played a major part in the homelessness of the United States. When he cut the funding, for mental hospitals and increased the funding for medication through the pharmaceutical industry. So we kicked the homeless out of the mental hospitals and onto the streets with just medication. And then the homeless situation, really, really started to skyrocket, and it's gotten worse each decade. Now, those mental hospitals weren't the best place for the I almost said they weren't the best place for the homeless, but they weren't always the best places for the mentally ill, because there was a lot of abuse and corruption and things like that. But they had a place where they could be treated and dealt with properly. And now they don't. And if you talk to most homeless people, you'll notice that they're a little cuckoo. And I'm not even dissing, it's just a fact. And I have talked to a lot of homeless people. I've known a lot of homeless people. I worked on jobs where we had to clear them out. They would be all on the sidewalk, camped out and shit like that. That's a tough situation. It is. I mean, it says when you have set bills and someone just buys shit and screws up the budget. Oh my Lord. Yes. Yes. Yeah. They feel like they're playing with house money and they ain't. Please hit the like button. Please drop a like for me. Please, please, please. I'd appreciate it. It would help out a lot. Thank you in advance. Like, yeah, when you're dealing with somebody who doesn't control their spending, whether it's because they make a lot of money or because they think you make a lot of money and they just fuck up the cash. And if you're a stickler for saving and having things in order, and you're dealing with somebody that's reckless, yeah, it'll stress you out to no end, because you'll be thinking like, yo, I can't deal with somebody that's fucking up this money like this. Like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? One trip up there, bang. Said, yeah, many of the homelessness have substance issues. Some homeless people I've met had jobs or part-time jobs, and they are of sound mind. Many, I can say, are under the substances, have mental problems. Well, you can have mental issues and still have a substance abuse problem too. Now, having a job and being homeless don't really mix. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, it really doesn't. But it depends on the kind of job. Well, like when you get close to the situation, you see, I worked right across the street from a homeless shelter before. And I saw a guy in there that grew up on my street, that grew up right on my block. We were kids together. And I'm thinking like, damn, you homeless now? You in a shelter? Yeah, he was in a shelter. And he was also a little, now he was functional, but it's still a little. It is what it is. Mr. Borey was good. Orwell, the resident says most homeless people in my city have a job. What city is that? Rent is expensive here. Minimum wage doesn't cover rent. Yeah. Minimum wage normally doesn't cover the rent anywhere. People live in cars. Okay. Where do you live? Oh. Bellingham, Washington. Rent is expensive in Bellingham, Washington? How far is that from Seattle? Let me find out that everything on the West Coast is expensive. One of the most expensive real estate markets in the US. Well, why would you live there? Like that doesn't make any sense. I could see living in one place and then traveling to Bellingham, Washington in order to work, but trying to live there, that doesn't sound 40 miles from Vancouver, an hour and a half to Seattle because it's really fucking nice here. What's nice when you can't afford it? I guess I'm funny. I guess I'm funny because nothing looks nice when I can't afford it. When I can afford it, everything looks nice. But that'd be like, even though I don't like this stat, what is the average cost of rent in Bellingham, Washington? God damn. Yeah, no wonder you fucking homeless. What? I mean, you can't. 1,500 to 2,250 per month, depending on the source and properties. That's the average rent. What's below average? Yeah, this is. What's the minimum wage in Seattle? I mean, in Washington. Hold on. What's the minimum wage in Washington State? Washington statewide minimum wage is $17.13 per hour. It's a lot higher than over here. Workers aged 14 and 15 can be paid 85% of adult rate, which is $14.56 per hour. I don't know. I don't think that this is a good example, sir. I don't think that Bellingham, Washington is a good example. That's like trying to live in Bel Air. Well, yeah, I don't make enough money to live in Bel Air. All right, you got to get the fuck out of Bel Air. Like, yeah, I'm homeless up here in Beverly Hills. You might have to leave Beverly Hills. I don't know. Let me see. Carla says, I knew a guy who worked and chose to stay in his car. I asked him why. He said he's saving all his money. He not paying all those bills. All right, but see, that's a choice. If you chose homelessness, then you ain't homeless. That is not for my sympathy. You're not. I don't know what to tell you. And Bori, Mr. Bori, this person got suitcase? You mean suitcase working and cleaning himself after the job, not sure where he sleep, but I now was homeless, sitting around the job, the day off, but never looked crazy or dirty. Okay. I will stay in the country where I can make it on my own. $17 an hour. Shit. Minimum wage in Pennsylvania ain't nowhere near that. But I mean, you're looking at being homeless. I don't know. I don't know about this shit. That shit don't even make no fucking sense. I'm not gonna try to live in a place that I can in no way afford and then claim that I'm homeless. Like that sounds like a fixable problem. Yeah, except nowhere between Seattle and Vancouver is any cheaper. Well, you might have to go down to Portland. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, with the weather they have up in Washington State, I don't know why anybody would want to live up there. But that's a judgment on my behalf. I don't know how y'all can deal with that shit. Cold as shit, foggy as hell, looking like it's raining all. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I honestly, like, why would anybody want to live there? Canada? Why would anybody want? I don't know. I don't know. That ain't my kind of West Coast. We just gonna have to keep it California. Fuck all that. All right. All right. Mr. Boy says, New York City, I know people living in their car, but still broke. People who grew up in New York, they know what time it is. It's the people who moved to New York who don't understand how to work it. But there's a place across the Hudson River called New Jersey, and you can go over there for a lot cheaper. You want to live in New York? You got to learn how to live in New York. You don't have no money, you can't live in New York. Simple as that. There are plenty of other places that you can live besides New York City. But shout out to the new mayor, Mondami. Shout out to Mondami. He's cleaning up New York. And now maybe people will have money or have places to stay without all that high-ass rent. Shout out to democratic socialism. Fuck all of this capitalist bullshit. The refusal of paying multiple bills is definitely a spending thing. Many don't want to deal with. I get it, LOL. In my good opinion, folks, stay child-free and minimize your spending habits. You don't have to stay child-free. You got to learn. You have to understand your limits is the operative word that you were talking about. Limits. You know what I mean? You got champagne taste and beer money. Act like you got beer money. Buy beer. Champagne ain't for you. I don't give a fuck if it's Corbel. It ain't for you. You can't afford it. Tots. Remember that champagne called Tots? Remember that shit? It ain't for you. Champagne taste and beer money. You want to live around people who are wealthy and then claim to be homeless? You're not living in the right place. Sorry, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy. Listen, at some point you got to get your shit together. We're talking about house money. At some point you got to get your shit together. You know what you're working with financially. You got to get your shit together. You live where you can afford. You drive what you can afford. Your recreation is what you can afford. And affording something does not mean that you can pay for it one time. Being able to afford it means that you can pay for it time and time again and have plenty of money left over to take care of the rest of your expenses. A lot of people don't understand what the word afford means. This ain't hard. Who's going to work jobs if we can't live there? You don't have to. You ever heard of commuting? There's a thing called commuting. You know, like let's say rich people live in one area, but the people who they employ to do their landscaping, cook their meals, nannies and shit like that, they don't live there. They got to get on the bus, catch an Uber, drive to work. It's called commuting. So yes, I work here for these rich people, but I can't afford to live here. I get my money from them and then I take my ass back home where I can afford. They're not in the business of making me rich. If I want to be rich, I got to find something better to do than to work for them. What do you mean? Who wants to work where they can't live? The fuck? Who works where they live? Honestly, I don't work where I live. Unless you work from home. And even that, even working from home, you work for a company. The company is not in your house. That's just your job. There's a fly in here, and that motherfucker gotta go. Soon as he slows down, it's curtains for him. Curtains, I tell you, curtains. But yeah, you don't have to live where you work. Honestly, that's foolish thinking. It says, I want a TV and an AC and a bed to sleep in. Word. Jay Clip's talking about stand up, bro. Rewind the show to the beginning and you'll see me standing up. But I'm not going to stand up for a man. Rewind the show because I stand up before every show. Well, not before every show, in the beginning of every show. Okay. Last person I seen make a Yahoo truck studio. Last person I seen make a Yahoo truck studio apartment. I don't even know what that is. Noah Green says, I live in Alaska. That's basically Canada, and I love it here. Yeah, it's definitely basically Canada, but it's registered as the United States. And hardly anybody lives there. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't see how y'all live there. You know, dark as shit one half of the year, the other, all that fucking cold, man. Y'all tripping. But one thing is for sure, it's very affordable to live in Alaska. Affordable as hell. Very affordable. You want to be able to afford something? Move to Alaska. You can afford almost anything. Except you might not be able to afford to freeze your ass to death. I don't know. I'm good. But peace to you. He said, because it's amazing. We get more sun per year than Nairobi. All right, man. You good. When a 20-ounce bottle of Coke, when a 20-ounce bottle of Coke costs $4, New York don't play. Listen, man, I go to New York often. Fuck New York. When I go to New York, I pack a lunch. Everything in New York is not expensive. Y'all, you got to go in the hood. You know, when you talk about New York, people are talking about Manhattan, the tourist areas. No, that's not the real New York. It's the real New York, and it's not the real New York. It's the New York that you go and visit. Of course, they're gonna usurp all of your money and bleed you dry. But if you go to Queens, if you go to Harlem, if you go to the Bronx or Staten Island, it's not gonna cost you as much as when you go down to Times Square. A book you only need to buy once or just a library card. Dude, there's nowhere cheaper that isn't 3 hours away. So move 3 hours away. Fuck it. How do you land in a place that you can't afford? I'm just trying to figure it out. There's a thing called job opportunities. And you don't just get a job to have a job. You got to assess. You have to assess your other living expenses. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, am I making sense here? Yeah, the place is beautiful. So are beachfront properties. Can you afford to live in a beachfront property? Probably not. Go there on vacation, but don't try to live there because you can't. But if you move to a place where you know you can't afford and you can't scream, start boo-hooing over being homeless, shit, you set yourself up for that shit. As far as I'm concerned, in that place, the only people that should be living there or working there are the people who can afford to. Listen, we're going to get to the easy math. Easy math. Commute 6 hours a day after working 8. Listen, man, you're selling yourself short. I can't even deal with these options. Somebody has to work the jobs. Rich people aren't going to be a janitor or a line cook. Well, then they just won't have any janitors or line cooks until they start paying them enough to be able to live there. They won't have to serve. If the people who live there have to travel 3 hours in order to get regular services, I'll bet you they'll change things. They'll just have to start paying people enough to be able to afford to live there. So now these janitors or housekeepers, because there's no such thing as janitors anymore, for real. Now they're going to have to be paying a livable wage. One thing that rich people will do is they will pay to get what they want. Like, oh, damn, we can't get any fast food because nobody will come here to work because they can't afford to live here. So guess what? These are going to be these are going to be the highest paid fast food workers we ever saw because we got to be able to pay them enough for them to be able to live here. It's the only way. Force their hand. The rich always force the hands of the poor. The poor have the power to force the hands of the rich. That's why we have labor unions over here on the East Coast. Just saying, man. Never going to be the same level. That's old money versus present money. You 100. 100 is a 20 for then. I don't know. You talking about the exchange? I don't know. What it says, I commuted 70 miles a day for 15 years. Yeah, you do what you got to do. I remember I commuted 60, well, I guess it was 120 miles a day because it was 60 miles away. And it wasn't a whole lot of money, but I did what I had to do for that time. Got a job that was closer. But I could have lived where I was traveling to. I could have lived up there, but I already had a house. I wasn't giving up my house where I don't have any mortgage, where I own outright. No, but I get it. Maria said maybe the fly wants a chip. Man, this fly got in here because my neighbors, it was trash day today. Tuesday is trash day here. And my neighbors had some trash that was nasty. I don't know what the hell it was nasty. And so as soon as I opened up the door, the fly came in. I said, this motherfucker. Now, normally the cat will catch a fly. But I guess she was busy today. Yeah, one trip up there, bang. I mean, come on, man. I'm serious. If the rich or the wealthy or the elites, if they have to travel 3 hours to get a burger, they're going to fix that problem. Once they find out, like, well, we can't get anybody to work here because, they can't live here and it's too far and it's just not affordable. Well, they're going to find a way to make it more affordable. Get a house, build a housing project or something. Because what's the use in having all of this money when you don't have anybody to perform services for you? It says it's really beautiful in the summer. Well, I'm sorry. You can't sell me on no Alaska. I'm good. I grew up there. I grew up here. That's cool. That's cool. Look, everything ain't for everybody. I'm cool. I don't need to see the Northern Lights that bad. Shout out to the Northern Lights, though. No, I ain't pissed off, Carl. I'm good. I'm good. Do whatever a robot can't do, right? You know that's coming. What up, Vic Morrison? What's good? Took me over an hour to get home in traffic. I live 4 miles away. So you moved. I get it. Yeah, yo. Don't that piss you off? Like just being stuck in traffic. I mean, that has a really, really devastatingly negative effect on your psyche. Being stuck in traffic. And when you can't see the reason for the traffic, like it's whatever accident or whatever's going on is so far ahead of you, and you just like in the back, like, what's going on? I just want to get the fuck home. And God forbid you gotta piss. Like you better make sure you piss before you leave your job. You ever do that? You ever forget to pee before you leave your job and you get stuck in a really bad traffic jam? Or you didn't fill up with gas and you stuck in this traffic jam. You thinking like, I'm going to have to call roadside assistance to bring me 5 gallons of gas. I'm going to break down. 4 miles away from the crib. Your fucking gas gauge is telling you 2 miles still empty. Like, oh God. Home 3 miles away. Gas gauge says 2 miles still empty. That shit is in the red. The little gas gauge thing is on red, like, like, yo, I mean it. What's up, Pallaway? If they had a farm workers union, I'd join it. Word, I hear that. Vic Moore says, yeah, Gave up 23 years of seniority. Oh, man. Phew. I know that had to hurt. I know that had to hurt. Lordy. Sheesh. Maria says, I know Alaska is shorthanded in women. Oh, shorthanded for they have some pretty women, you know. Eskimo chicks are kind of, yeah, they got some pretty good light skin out there. My cousin actually has a daughter by one of those Eskimo chicks. Uh-oh. It looks like this is more likely a troll, but let's see. Caller with the last number is 8729. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? Nope, took too long. You're out of here. You're out of here. You go bye-bye. You go bye-bye. What up, Mav? Give you wife excuses? I don't know what you mean by that. All right, one trip up there. Bang says, I'm child-free, son, so I don't have many worries of the average person's talk or the understanding to the society statuses we push. Minimalist type of lifestyle and travel in a way that is effortless. But the thing is, we're supposed to be living the American dream. And the American dream is supposed to be accessible to all American citizens. And when you have these places where the house, where something as essential as housing is unaffordable, that's not acceptable. And there should be no place where you cannot work and live. Or where you cannot live and find work. Alaska yet still around? Well, yeah, I didn't say we should bomb it. Listen, man, you like Alaska? I love it. I just would never live there. I would visit there in a heartbeat. But living there? Not for all the caribou in the world. Not for all the caribou and moose. Shout out to caribou and moose. Carter says bad feeling when you holding it in and holding it in the house down. When you holding it in the house down the street, but you're sitting there in traffic. Come on, man. That shit. And you know, the closer you get to the crib, the more it's, you know, it's like your body be like, yo, you're not gonna make it, son. You ain't gonna make it. You gonna piss on yourself and still make it to the toilet with still plenty of piss left. Why is it? Why is it that mentally you have to go worse when, you know, the closer you get to the crib? So you putting your key in the door and it's like, yo, this is about to be an explosion. We're about to blow a gasket. We're causing a leak here. Shout out to everybody that's ever pissed on themselves as an adult. This shit happens. Tell you what, you pissed on yourself. For tonight, we're gonna say that you were drunk. It's very easy to piss on yourself when you're drunk. So for tonight, we're going to give you the excuse of being inebriated. You had one too many. You were three sheets in the wind. You know? But the truth of the matter is, you just didn't take a piss before you left the job. You thought you had enough time to make it, and things just didn't go well. But that's between us. This night, this day of our Lord, July 8th, 2026, on the Daily Go Getimism Show, the Sun 752 platform. We were drunk when it happened. That's between us. We know what really happened. Shout out to any and everybody who ever pissed on themselves as a full-fledged adult. Blame it on the bladder. Blame it on your kidney situation. It happens. I see what you're saying, Mav. I got you. Mr. Boy says, American Dream got you. American Dream. Wait a minute. Got what you got because everything is here. But be thankful for what you got and still more coming. Pension. Okay. Works for me. No fighting. No fighting. Trump is watching. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump and fuck MAGA. Each and every last one of them. Bar none. Even my family members. Fuck all of them. All righty. I'm feeling better about life. This was a good show. All right. So we're going to go to the poll question. Let's go to the poll question. Shall we? Shall we go to the poll question? By the way, did y'all hit the like button? We only got 19 likes. This is pathetic. This is an abomination. Here we are. We have 53 poll question answers, but we only have 19 likes. I swear, man, life is unfair. Right in my face. If you answered the poll question, that means that you were here and enjoyed at least the poll question, but you couldn't push the like button? Like that, like that, like that, what? All right. That's my response to 19 likes. Boo! 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 All right, cool. Let's do the poll question. The poll question was, have you ever stolen money or a car from your parents? Don't lie. Have you ever stolen money from your parents or stole their vehicle? Let's see. The lion's share of pollsters out of 58 votes, said no to both. I would never do that. Well, that's good to know. But 16% says yes, but I didn't get caught. They're probably talking about the car. 7% said yes, and I got caught and punished. Ooh. 14% said I only borrowed the car. I didn't steal the car. I borrowed it. Just that my parents didn't know I was borrowing it. I put it back. I didn't steal it. Do I like Dodge? Yeah, Dodges are great. I had a couple of them back in the day. Marvina says, I would take B here today. I would not be here to. Oh, you mean I would not be here today if I stole from them? Okay. One trip up there, bank says, never stole anything. I borrowed it. I borrowed it though to go see a girl when I was younger. So I imagine if you answered the poll question, you chose. You were part of the 14%. Mr. Boris says, I did. I did, but I put gas in it so I get a pass. Okay. That was noble of your borrowing. That's cool. Y'all been good sports. We about to do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs. Yo, hit the like button. We should at least get to 20. Sheesh. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Well, dag, Mike Thomas. The thing is, we were talking about playing with house money, but we're about to end. We're about to do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June. No, we're in July, right? July 7th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Rosalind Brown. And also Teresa So Blessed Campbell, Valencia Williams, Ja Collins, Kia Maya, my brother from another mother, Norris Hill, and last but not least, my man Timothy Barnes. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious July 19th. Oh my God, what the hell am I talking about? July 7th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Well, I'm gonna say it like this, and I don't care if you get pissed. Yeah, you're playing house money. That means you're spending somebody's cash, and that's gonna be your ass. Yeah, you spend it down to they last and you thought that it was sweet like that, but it won't get a pass. I don't respect nobody that don't save, and I don't respect nobody that's wild and don't know how to behave. And I understand you might have an early grave that you dug for yourself, because no health is not something that you're ever concentrated on. I'm not the type of nigga that be out trying to hate on anybody out here. You do your thing there, and I don't care where you live or where you get your money. Share with your people who don't have none, but make sure they work and bust their ass for real, son. And I ain't advocate for nobody that's hating out here. I'm be patient. I'm waiting for my chance to advance, but I'm gonna make sure that I give a chance advance right now. Yo, a chance is all I'm really looking for out here. And if you can give me an opportunity, yo, thank you, dear. And that's my word. I ain't no nerd, but I ain't nobody that's trying to make you out here getting disturbed. Just like the peace. I'm from the East. Philadelphia, PA is where I rest. And at least I understand that we got a lot of people and they be coming through, keeping the 100 grand. So I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. And until then, try to strive. Don't have to beg and borrow. And no sorrow. I won't be shedding no tears. It's all right. It's all right, because I'm out of here. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure y'all come on through tomorrow night, Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow night is movie night. So tomorrow night, we always talk about a movie topic. A movie topic. And I think tomorrow night, I think we're going to be talking about, let's see, last week we talked about special effects. I think tomorrow night I want to talk about stunts. Stunts that would, like, most notable stunts that have been done in movies. The most notable stunts that have been done in movies. Have you ever watched the movie and the stunts were terrible? You could tell that wasn't the person, that wasn't the actor. Yo, it be the way it be sometimes. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for coming through. I hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. Please hit the like button on your way out, and y'all be safe. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. I holla. Peace. All righty.